Hello, it's a film review. This is Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. So finally arrived yesterday midnight. Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, and I'm just going to talk about the film, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, what I could improve on, and obviously the setup for the Justice League films and Wonder Woman films, all those sort of films. So the main plot of the film, from like the trailers and obviously reviews and what people have been saying, is it's a sort of sequel to Man of Steel back in 2013, where of course Superman faced off against Zod and destroyed a lot of the city, and Batman was obviously in Metropolis as well at the same time, and then he saw one of the Wayne Towers get destroyed, which he blamed Superman for because obviously it was part of the fight. And the government's involved as well in this film because they want to question Superman, that like sort of like they need him. Is he good? Is he bad? Like what do they really need a Superman? Of course they need him because obviously there's going to be other threats out there. But it has that sort of element on it. So obviously further along the line you've got Lex Luthor, who's obviously hell bent on destroying Superman, and he's got some sort of grudge against Batman as well. And of course he eventually creates Doomsday, and of course Wonder Woman in this film as well, so they all team up. Of course towards the end of the film, Batman and Superman fight off, which obviously is meant to be like a monumental sort of like iconic fight, which it is. And then of course they inevitably team up with Wonder Woman, Batman and Superman do, and then they go against Doomsday. I mean that was like the sort of general outline of the film. But so I'll talk about what I like about the film. I mean, Ben Affleck was really good as Batman. I mean, I think he got cast like 3 years ago, and I remember thinking like I wasn't really sure. I remember I spoke to a few friends about it like when he got announced, and a few of my friends were for Ben Affleck and a few weren't really sure, and I was sort of against it because I've seen Daredevil back in 2003. Obviously a long time ago now, but that wasn't the best film he's ever done, and sort of around that time he wasn't making, I guess, great films. But he's turned it around, and he's really good as Batman. You can't deny it. He's excellent. It's a different take on Batman. It's not like the sort of like detective stealth version. Like if you look at Dark Knight trilogy, which was played by Christian Bale Batman, he was sort of trained to sort of be a ninja and like use like gadgets and Lucius Fox and Alfred as well. But like sort of it was all about like a different approach for Batman. This one's like it's been Batman already, I think for 20 years, which he does say in the film. So obviously he's been there and he's done it all. He's probably faced off against all the different villains, and of course this Batman has a different take on it because he doesn't care. I mean, he kills people in this film as well. I mean, it was quite surprising at first, like not like shocked, but just surprised that he doesn't hold back in that. I mean, he brands people with the bat symbol, and he's all aggressive and he doesn't hold back in that. I mean, there's a really good scene towards the end of the film. If you saw the final trailer they released, of course you see Batman come throughout the floor and take down all the enemies. It's really good. That was a really good scene. That alone should definitely push for a Batman solo film, because that just sort of summarised Ben Affleck's Batman in one go. Like the brutality, the fighting skills. He's actually quite quick as well, which I didn't really think it would be. So I mean, obviously Batman's going to be quick, but I mean, he hasn't been it for quite a while, so you thought his reflexes might be a bit different. He does get hit a couple of times, but the batsuit I think is like bulletproof and knife-proof as well, which is quite handy, of course. And it was really good. Another thing I liked about the film as well was Henry Cavill was good as Superman. It was a bit of a different sort of portrayal, and you get to see Clark Kent as well for the first time, but it's only in like every now and then he sort of pops up at the Daily Planet. Of course, more about Superman, and he's got to deal with a lot of things in this film compared to Man of Steel. I mean, in Man of Steel, of course, he sort of went back and forth to like his world and Earth, and he just had to take out Zod. But now, obviously, like that's before the beginning of the video, the government's involved. Then you've got obviously like the people like Batman sort of thinking he's a baddie, and you've got Lex Luthor in his case as well. So he's got a lot. And he's got that sort of juggle. I know obviously like, his secret identity's got juggle work as well, and being together with Lois Lane as well. So like it's all these sort of things that go sort of in one big sort of like hat or pot, and you think, how's he going to do it? But he does it fine. The performance wasn't like outstanding, but it wasn't like the worst thing ever. It was decent, and he played it as you would expect Henry Cavill to play Superman. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I put this in sort of good and bad moments, because prior to this I did watch a lot of reviews and read a lot of like non-spoiler reviews, and people did say, like, some people liked him, some people hated him. It sounded like it was Marmite. To be fair, some scenes he was really good in, other scenes he was a bit crazy. There's one scene in particular, I'm not sure what one it was. He said something and he was all acting like really sort of jumpy and twitchy, and I said to my friend next to me, I was like, what the hell was that? So like it was a bit odd in that part, but the thing is, it was good because it was a different take on Lex Luthor. I mean, if you watch like the older Supermans and the Smallville TV series, and obviously it's quite a lot different compared to this one, and people do say it's Lex Luthor's son, which would be a bit different, but I didn't even know that was his son until the film said it was. So, but it's a good take on Lex Luthor. I mean, you could sort of dial it down on a bit of the sort of twitchy sort of craziness part, but like, I mean, who knows? I mean, because at the end of the film he got his head shaved as well, and he's got like this sort of knowledge because he went into the Kryptonian ship to create Doomsday. I think he must, because obviously they just say about like he's got access to all these files, and he must have learned a lot of stuff. So obviously he must know that a lot of stuff now prior to it, and his head must be like unraveling inside. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, if that's how you say her name. Obviously you see her for the first time. Prior to the actual fight scene, which I'll get onto later on, in there, she was okay, but it just seems like there's like sort of like an event where Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent are there with just Lex Luthor, and you just see her appear. It was good to see her appear because obviously like you haven't seen Wonder Woman in films before, but I sort of felt like she was there every now and then, and like when Doomsday was created, there was a couple of scenes where like she's sort of contemplating if she's going to go back and that. Well, you're obviously going to go back because you're Wonder Woman. You're obviously going to save Gotham or Metropolis, or yeah, you're obviously going to save it. So like it's just a bit. If that was me, I would have sort of removed those couple of those scenes to the build up to the fight and just left the sort of scenes that she had there, and then. I mean, it would have been a bit weird to have the jump from like just her like in different sort of events, then to Wonder Woman. But like, there's a scene literally before she arrives. She's on the plane, and then she looks at the TV monitor, and it's got Doomsday like attacking Metropolis, and you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, you've just go, like you're not gonna sit here and go on your plane, are you? So, I mean, the bad points of the film, there's not many, to be fair. I mean, there's some, but. There's mainly more good than bad. The bad points probably, although they touch on Lex Luthor as well. Jesse Eisenberg wasn't like the most sane performance. He was a bit crazy, but it was okay. If he's in there again, then yeah, it'd be good to see him in it again. But maybe just sort of turn it down a little bit. The bad thing, I mean, it's only a small part of the film, but like it did bring up in my head as well. There's a scene where. Superman meets Lex Luthor on top of the LexCorp building, and he sort of like he tells him about like what he's done and like doing all these sort of like weird sentences, and he's like sort of pointing to Gotham because obviously Batman's waiting for him to fight Superman there, and like he's sort of telling him to go over to fight, and you think, well, he's not just going to fly over there, is he? It's a fight, and then he gets he captures Martha, which obviously is Superman's mum, and he obviously instantly goes over there, but like. The bit that I didn't really get is like, why does Lex Luthor hate Batman? Like, for my mind, Lex Luthor's always hated Superman because he isn't hated, obviously he's a good, obviously Lex Luthor's bad, but I didn't really understand the sort of hate for Lex Luthor for Batman, because Batman's been Batman for over 20 years, and Lex Luthor looks quite young, so like, unless his dad has actually told him like all this sort of previous like encounters between him and Batman, maybe something like that, but I just didn't really see it. But so yeah, I mean, another bad thing as well, the Doomsday fight is great, it's just there's a little bit of CGI problems, but I mean, prior to as well, when I did sort of like I just said, I did read a lot of and listen to a lot of reviews, and they said like CGI's terrible, CGI's terrible, like the Doomsday's terrible. I mean, it wasn't the best sort of like model of Doomsday, and once he got more and more, I guess, battle hardened, like he grown more spikes. You didn't really see him, which I actually read that earlier, which is quite. I didn't think about that too much, which is quite obviously important. Like he's obviously normal form. He's like you see a lot of that, and then once he gets in power, he keeps like he sort of like uses this sort of energy blast to wipe out like buildings and obviously the heroes, and you don't really see sort of Doomsday sort of properly or like for like a specific amount of time. You see like bits of him. He's in one bit, and then like Superman and Wonder Woman or Batman's doing something, and then like it cuts like another bit, and then like it's really really quick. You don't sort of fixation on him for a while, which is a shame because Doomsday's a great character, and that's another thing as well. It's another bad thing about the film. It sort of reminds me of maybe Spider-Man 2, where they had Spider-Man and Electro, which obviously was the main villain of the film, but then you also had Rhino and Green Goblin, and it was kind of annoying how they just sort of shoehorned Green Goblin and the Rhino at the end of the film to set up other films, and I just feel like Doomsday was put in there to set up other films, which makes sense, but it wasn't done correctly because Doomsday was sort of in the development of the film, if I can remember, like a little bit before the actual maybe. It's not like Lex Luthor went to the ship and just went, yeah, I'm gonna make Doomsday, and then like a minute later he was there. It took time sort of developing that, but it didn't really come at the best time. If he made him at the sort of beginning of the film or like halfway through the film, yeah, it would have been hard to sort of stretch out that time period of him being produced, but it wasn't very good. And that's another thing as well, like how he got produced. I mean, I'm no expert, but I don't really see like the blood hitting Zod to make Doomsday, but maybe someone down below on the comments down below can actually see what tell me what was the deal with that. But another thing with the film as well, which is quite bad, is like some of the pacing. Like there's a couple of scenes where this happens and then it just stops, jumps another bit, and like, but what happened with that bit? Some of the sort of scenes didn't really finish properly, and then they did, and then like something else happened. It's like, well, slow down. But that's a minor. It's all little minor things, because that's the overall the film is great. The fight scene between Batman and Superman is excellent. I mean, Batman does do quite well because he has like his sort of like grenade, kryptonite sort of gas grenades, and the way Superman sort of like inhaled it and took it in and he was affected was really good. And there's a really sort of funny, I guess, humorous part in it where Superman's been sort of like hit by another grenade and obviously been affected, and Batman's hitting him, punching him, and then like he's on this wall and he's hitting him, and like every time he's hitting him the punch is getting less and less and less powerful, and then Batman sort of like stands back. He's like, yeah, I sort of messed up in that, but it was a great fight scene. It was a bit short for my liking, and the ending of it was a bit weird. I like it, just Superman was gonna possibly get killed, and then he shouted out his mum's name because they got both of them got the same mum's name, which obviously is a convenience. They just become best friends, which is a bit strange, but the fight scene itself between Doomsday, Batman and Wonder Woman is great, especially when Wonder Woman appears. That's really really good. I mean, that was excellent. The music was great as well. Some of it was a bit sort of too I guess loud and sort of like heavy, I guess, but I'm no musician, and Hans Zimmer is a great music producer because he's done so many good soundtracks throughout the years. You can't really criticise his stuff because he's been great throughout his whole career. And obviously Wonder Woman, even though she wasn't in the film for a long while, for the end bit, she wasn't in the film for the whole film, but her role was actually quite significant, especially when she was in the final fight. She did really really well. I mean, like to see her like in live action was great. Like she got the sword, lasso of truth, the shield, like it's all there. And you know, the next year when the film comes out, Wonder Woman's going to be really really good because obviously people can sort of get a bit worried if they don't say much, like dialogue could be missing, but her dialogue it wasn't the best, but it was good enough to sort of commit to the character, which was quite good. And then we get to the sort of the cameo bits. I mean, like the best cameo was definitely got a bit of the Flash bit where Batman's had this sort of dream sequence. I'll probably touch on that at the end. And you see the Flash, like, well, it must be the Flash because no one would have an outfit like that with all these sort of like speed effects if it wouldn't be the Flash. and I think he's gone back in time, and he was saying like certain things about Lois. I think Lois and like you were right, and like am I too early, that sort of stuff. It was really really good. And then you got the other side of the cameos. That was a good cameo. And the other cameo was the second cameo was really bad. This is hard drive, and it has like 4 sort of symbols on the screen, and like you don't have to be a genius to work out what they say. You got Wonder Woman. I think the order was Wonder Woman, The Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg, and obviously you click up them. Eventually, you see all their cameos. I mean, the Flash one's just really basic. It's just a sort of store robbery, and he uses his speed. Aquaman is in this sort of ship underwater, and he appears out of it and then like shoots off. The Cyborg one's it's cool, but it's just really done quite poorly. Like you've got his dad with a video recorder talking about like all these tests, and in the background you've got this half-body human like sort of like on this sort of like a big metal fence sort of thing with all different parts, and like this cube attaches to him and assembles Cyborg, which is a bit strange. Like how does that cube even assemble Cyborg? But again, I have no idea. And obviously Wonder Woman obviously was in the film more than the others. The dream sequence is quite cool. It's to do with Darkseid, and Superman's like this sort of demon, and people do believe, including myself, that Darkseid could have sort of brainwashed Superman to become evil, because in that dream sequence he did kill people, and I think he probably destroyed Batman as well in that. And you see all these sort of Darkseid creatures as well, like attacking Batman. You've got the Superman worship fighters. You've got the big symbol as well, because Batman's in sort of like this desert sort of environment and like desert outfit, and there's symbols there, and like you got all this flames in the background, that sort of post-apocalyptic world. It was really good. It was really cool to see that. I just don't think it was needed when it was shown, but this film is a bit of a mess in parts. But if you go in there and just take away all the technical bits, because it's a superhero film, it's not going to be like, it's not going to make sense, it's not going to be realistic, is it? It's a superhero film. And yeah, it would have been nice if it was a bit more clean and a bit more cut together properly. But if you take that away from it, which is obviously a big thing, I'm not trying to say it's the best thing ever made, because it's not. But if you go in there as a sort of fanboy and you want to see action and good fight scenes and like good, okay setups, then the film's great. And I'll probably give it about like 8 out of 10 or something. I mean, I know that people online do like letters or like numbers for grades or like how good it is, but I'll definitely recommend it to go and watch it as well. And I mean, Ben Affleck was great, as I said as well. Henry Cavill was good. Lex Luthor was a mixed. He was okay. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman was great. I mean, so I didn't even mention Alfred. I mean, Alfred was good as well. He's quite hands-on, which is good to see a different sort of version of Alfred. Shame he wasn't in it for more longer, but who knows, he might be in the Justice League next year, which is good. So this has been my Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice movie review. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you next video.